a.m. Good evening. The City of Boston Zoning Board of Appeal hearing for July 24, 2025 is now in session. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with the applicable provisions of the open meeting law, including the updated provisions enacted by the legislature this year. The new law allows the board to continue its practice of holding virtual hearings through June 2027. This hearing of the board is being held remotely via the Zoom webinar event platform. This hearing is also being recorded. In order to ensure this hearing of the board is open to the public, members of the public may access this hearing through telephone and video conferencing. The information for connecting to this hearing is listed on today's hearing agenda, which is posted on the public notices page of the city's website, boston.gov. Members of the public will enter the virtual hearing as attendees, which means you will not see yourself on the screen and you will be muted throughout unless administratively unmuted when asked to comment. Board members, applicants, and their attorneys or representatives. Sorry, the little pop-ups mess me up. Okay, members of the public will enter the virtual hearing as attendees, which means you will not see yourself on the screen and you will be muted throughout unless administratively unmuted when asked to comment. Board members, applicants, and their attorneys or representatives will participate in the hearing as panelists, and they will appear alongside the presentation materials when speaking. Panelists are strongly encouraged to keep video on while presenting to the board. As with our in-person meetings, comments and support will be followed by comments in opposition. The order of comments is as follows. Elected officials, representatives of elected officials, and members of the public. The chair may limit the number of people called upon to offer a comment and the time for commenting as time constraints require. For that reason, the board prefers to hear from members of the public who are most impacted by a project, that is, those individuals who live closest to the project. If you wish to comment on an appeal, please click the raise hand button along the bottom of your screen in the Zoom webinar platform. Click it again and your hand should go down. When the host sees your hand, you will receive a request to unmute yourself. Select yes, and you should be able to talk. If you are connected to the hearing by telephone, please press *9 to raise and lower your hand. You must press *6 to unmute yourself after you receive the request from the host. Those called upon to comment will be asked to state their name and address first and then provide their comment. In the interest of time and to ensure that you have enough time to do so, please raise your hand as soon as Mr. Stembridge reads the address into the record. Do not raise your hand before the relevant address is called, or the meeting host will not know to call on you at the appropriate time. Okay, Mr. Stembridge.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Present.
Good evening. Ms. Benabraza.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Present.
Good evening. Good to see you.
Same.
The floor is yours, Mr. Stembridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the hearing scheduled for 5 p.m. for today, first case we have is case BOA 1674561 with the address of 18 to 20 Crestway Road. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
It looks like that's Henry. Yeah, we just sent a request to unmute you, Henry, make you a panelist.
Hi all, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. So yes, my name is Henry Sanchez. This is my proposal. I currently live at 18-20 Crestway Road, Unit 4. So it's the left-hand sided building that you see on the screen here. It's a two-building condominium homeowners association. There's 2 units in my building, again, the 18 side, 3 units on the number 20 side. And really our project is just looking to just get more outdoor space. There really is no common area that's accessible or belongs to us. The middle kind of area that you see between the 2 buildings is a courtyard area that is exclusive use for units 2 and units 1, which are the lower level units on each of the buildings. Our unit is on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the left-hand building, and we like I said, there's no common area. There's no kind of backyard. It's just kind of a high ground existing retaining wall with some trees in the back. So just looking to get a little bit more sunlight, enjoy the outdoor space in the couple of months that we do have here in the Northeast. And again, it's just my wife, myself, my son here that live with us. So not a lot of people that are going to be using it up there. At the moment, kind of the design we're going for is to follow the overall shape of the building. So not exactly square, but it's about 800 square feet. And then the plan would be to have kind of a see-through pergola up there just to let a little bit of sunlight through. Not looking to block, sunlight for any of the neighbors or anybody else around by any means. But I think that's it in a nutshell.
Can you confirm how far the deck is set back on the front side?
Yeah, I believe, and I'll invite Eric, who helped me with the plans, but I think it's about 10 feet, if we scroll up a page, maybe. To the prior page, I believe. Maybe one more. Yeah, this one here. So on the top right. So it's about, I can't see that exactly. Is it maybe? So it's about 3.5 feet from the exterior of the building. However, the square rectangle that you see on the right is the front balcony that we have. And that's where the building exterior runs to.
Are there questions from the board?
No, there's no questions. It's good that you asked regarding the setback because I see that the Boston Planning is recommending that that the deck is set back at least 5 feet from the edge. Do you see that being a problem? And maybe this is more to your architect, Eric.
Yeah. Thank you, Hansi. This is Eric Dackerson, architect for the project. No, I don't think that would be an issue at all, being set back 5 feet from the edges of the roof, except for in the area right around the staircase where.
Okay, great. And then they're also recommending that the pergola be removed. Do you see an issue with that as well?
No,
That's
that'll be fine. We could look some alternative kind of shape, maybe an umbrella, but no permanent structure. We can think that
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, that's usually, and as you know, typically, they're recommending that you access the roof deck through an internal stair versus an exterior. And I do see that there is a possibility to have an internal stair for kind of private access. And you can either do a roof hatch or an access, like a head out access.
Yeah, we definitely contemplated that initially. The challenge is the level below. The stair kind of either eats up a big significant portion of the living room or the kitchen. So we were hoping to extend up from the stair, which would be as is shown on the exterior. But I guess the answer is to the owner, but that is the reason we chose to try and do a stair along the side of the building instead of
Yeah, but it
conventional.
looks like you have a vertical core. It looks like you can tie into that potentially, and maybe you will need to move the location of the roof deck for that to work, so it doesn't eat up half of your living space. But I think these things can be worked out. So I'm, Madam Chair, I'm okay with, I don't have any further questions or clarifications.
Sounds good. With that, may I have public testimony?
We don't have any hands raised right now.
Okay,
Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office can defer to the judgment of this board. ONS had run an abutters meeting on April 9th, a long time ago. The applicant was able to answer questions that residents had. They went on to connect with the Orient Heights Civic Association. Presently, we're unaware of any concerns at this time. With that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval with 3 proviso. One being that the pergola be removed, second being that the roof deck be set back 5 feet from the edge. And then lastly, that the the architect works with BPD in the design of an internal stair and to provide access either through a roof hatch or a head house.
Is there a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Betteraza,
Yes.
chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1728524 with the address of 389 Maverick Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Yes, hello, Madam Chair and everyone else. My name is Veronica Robles and we're here to present 389 Maverick Street. It's a small restaurant and we wanna open up and we wanna use it as is with everything. We're not planning any renovation. The only thing that we are doing is putting a sticker on the side, outdoors. And that's what we're planning to do. We run a small food business selling Mexican street corn for the past 6 years, and we've been using commissionary kitchens, and we see this as an opportunity for us to have a place where we can prepare and sell our Mexican street corn.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office will defer to the judgment of this board. Our office does not anticipate any community concerns related to this modest proposal. With that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
No
With that, may I
additional
have a motion? I'm sorry, is there another hand raised?
No, no additional comments.
Great. With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
May I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Betteraza,
Yes.
chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck, ma'am.
Next, we have case BOA 1715590 with the address of 30 Harvard Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, would they please explain the case to the board?
Yes, hello. My name is Anna French from French 2D Architects in Charlestown. This is a 3.5-story brick row house. Oh, and it's rotated. I apologize. Brick row house in Charlestown on Harvard Street. The project is a single family and is currently being renovated. The variances that we're seeking are around the extension of a dormer, so widening a dormer at the rear, and then using the basement as living space. We met previously with both Alexa Pinard, Planning Department, and Shelley Blanchard of the Landmarks Commission. Both saw no problem with the addition of the dormer. It does not sit on a public way. And this, what you're seeing here, is the existing condition. The front is the elevation on the left, the rear is elevation on the right. If you go to the next slide, you'll see what the proposed change is. Sorry, one more. I don't know why that's, excuse me. There we go. And you'll see that the front has not changed, that it's the restoring of the exact dormer that already exists. And at the rear, we've taken the existing dormer and repeated it 3 times in order to create that larger dormer, but setting back the form between so that it is not one large shed, but instead varied by this. We had a meeting with, and the neighbors have been very excited about this. And if there's any other questions I can answer, we did have some supplemental photographs if that helps. The general condition here on Harvard Street is all of the front-facing houses have maintained their historic character and the existing dormers. And then if you look to the images where we're showing the rear, this is very characteristic of many of the houses in the row, where you will see this kind of shift happening. Just in the next slide or two, we sort of outline it. You can see the variation that has happened over time on slide, I believe, 6 and 7.
Great. Are there questions
go.
from the board?
Yes, if you can just go to the slide, Ambassador, to the front view where you can see the front windows.
Mhm.
Yeah, right there. Oop. Of the frontal view, there's like yeah, that one. This one, perfect, right here. Can you just describe what use you're doing in the basement? Like, are you gonna do a habitable room? Or is it just storage? What's the function of the basement use?
Yes, of course. It's essentially a family room and a laundry room.
I'm picking up
and a
a feedback.
bathroom.
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Jesus, yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that
Yeah,
again?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was gonna just say mute anyone else, please.
It is the addition of a family room, a laundry room, and a bathroom.
Okay, so it's not gonna be a habitable bedroom?
No, no
Okay.
bedroom, absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't have any further question. I was just kind of concerned with the window locations and not having like an egress, but it's fine. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, may I have public testimony?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and board members. Siggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the ONS community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on June 3rd, at which there were 4 abutters in support and no concerns were raised. Our office is aware of 6 letters of support from abutters that have been forwarded to the board. With that background, we defer to the board for their judgment. Thank you.
Thank you. Jesus, is that
Yeah, we
K
have
or-
one person, the person with the K, with the, I'm gonna unmute this person.
No,
You looking
no,
to give-
it's Kevin Joyce. I'm set. Don't.
We're all set. Okay, we'll lower your hand.
Okay,
Thank you.
so you just put your hand down. Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1729339 with the address of 78 to 80A Salem Street. If the applicant and or the representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. William Ferrullo, attorney on behalf of the applicant, 7880 Salem Street. That's in the north end of Boston. We're requesting the removal of the proviso for this petitioner only. Proviso was placed in 2011 when a single-story building was converted from hairdressing salon to a restaurant in 2013. The building had a second floor added for an extension of the restaurant, and we were before the board on that as well. The restaurant has always been and will continue to be a sit-down restaurant. The takeout is the normal accessory takeout for a sit-down restaurant. The difficulty with the proviso naturally is it's difficult both for the landlord in terms of new tenancy and the individual who's buying the restaurant to go through the process with the proviso for the new restaurant, since there's no change to the operation. So with that, we're asking that that proviso be removed.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. Our office is unaware of any concerns. The applicant has been in touch with both civic associations active in this area. That information will defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank
No
you.
additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second,
Mr. Stenbridge,
yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1709052 with the address of 32 St. Stephen Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, would they please explain?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board, Cameron Merrill on behalf of Kyle Holden and David Bedrin, the applicants. What you have here is a head house not connected to a roof deck. This is for access from this renovated brownstone. It's been about a year and a half or so of renovations, and this is the final step. They need safe and easy access to get to the roof, and this was the proposal they thought would be appropriate for this location. It will be complemented by a skylight in the roof as well. So this will brighten up the top floor of their home, provide them to get to the roof, which currently does not have interior access as needed. We respect the planning decision to recommend this go to ONS, to the BPDA for design review. And we appreciate the comments they made in support of this project. Ultimately, we think this is a good fit for the neighborhood. It is set back from the roof, and the neighbor does have roof structures as well. So it's not uncommon in the neighborhood, and there will be little impact on the abutters. This does not block any views or shed any shadows or impact on the abutters as called out for by the relevant condition in the zoning code. Ultimately, it's under the allowable height, but because of that one provision, we are here for that conditional permit.
Any questions from the board?
It's interesting that it's being called like a bulkhead, and in the description it says install a greenhouse on the rooftop. It does look like an additional structure, like a greenhouse. I'm going to make a recommendation that we defer this to the full board.
It is called a bulkhead, a greenhouse. I think there's a place where it's identified as a solarium. I don't think there was any intention behind what it was called in the engineer's reports. They do refer to it that way, but it is a structure on the roof.
Okay, I don't have any further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we'll just take public testimony and we can go to the motion.
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the ONS community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on May 28th, at which multiple abutters were supportive. The Fenway Civic Association is in support. Our office is unaware of any concerns with the proposal. With that background, we defer to the board for their judgment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Yeah, Madam Chair, just because the project sits on groundwater conservation overlay district, it sits on a neighborhood design overlay district of the Fenway neighborhood, and that's probably why it was recommended for BPD oversight. I'm going to make a recommendation that the project goes in front of the full board. So motion to defer to the full board.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Better Baraza,
Yes.
chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Which is Tuesday. I don't know if he needs a date, but I think we need to let them know for which board hearing they can present in front. So
I think it does need to be stated.
yeah, it needs to be stated.
Who,
correct.
Right.
Who's there with you, Mr. Stenbridge?
Yeah,
can give
the
us the
next, sorry, it's Caroline. The next hearing
Okay.
is this Tuesday, July 29th.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if that works for the applicant, I can make a motion that it be defers to this Tuesday board hearing.
Thank you.
I think we're
Oh.
good. You don't need a second motion.
Okay,
Caroline-
great.
Caroline has stated the date. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1697496 with the address of 12R Union Avenue. If the applicant and or their representative are present, they please explain to the board.
My name is Shane O'Brien. I'm the applicant.
Can you speak up?
Oh, sorry. My name is Shane O'Brien. I'm the owner applicant.
Okay, please proceed.
The application is to add an ADU in my backyard. I'm calling it a pool house, but it's essentially an ADU, a two-story unit at the back of the lot. It's two-story flat roof. It's about 800 square feet. The first floor mostly will be storage. And then the stairs to the second floor, which is essentially a one-room studio. That's connected to my apartment. It's not going to be a third unit on my property. It's basically an extra space for me. What else? Yeah.
So can you just give us a sense of those violations listed? How much are you exacerbating them? So like rear yard insufficient, side yard insufficient, height excessive, et cetera. Can you just, you know?
So height is because 15 feet is the max for an ADU. So I'm at 20 feet, so I'm 5 feet over the allowable height for an ADU. The side yard is 5, so I'm at 5 feet from the side yard. Allowable is 10 feet. That 5 foot, that's a fence, and beyond that fence is a parking lot. So it's a pretty open space. Essentially, it's a 10-car parking lot. The rear yard is 4 feet from the rear lot line, which is the allowable is 10 feet. I'm obviously way over that. The property beyond that 4 feet is 3 feet. It's essentially a 21-foot cinder block warehouse that's 3 feet from their property line. So I thought I was being as considered as that could be, I guess. I was trying to keep it away from the left-hand lot line because there is a neighbor there that's pretty close.
Thank you. Are there other questions from the board?
Again, I find this the subcommittee is to really review kind of small alterations, small projects. When I see a project that it's an additional unit, when I see a project as at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 violations, especially one that has to not have 2 or more dwellings on a lot. I see that that those projects should go in front of a full board. So I'm going to make that recommendation again, because I think with the full board, I can ask specific questions to BPD because I don't think they're online right now, are they? Secretary, can you tell us if Jeff Hampton is on or anyone from BPD?
I don't see
I don't
anybody.
think so.
Yeah, so I think I would like, and it gives an opportunity for neighbors and abutters to be fully notified. And it's just a better kind of due diligence on a project of this scale. So I'm going to make also that recommendation that this goes in front of a full board.
We have a full hearing next week, Ms. Better Barraza, but that is fine. Let's take public testimony.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office will defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information, the community process. ONS had run an abutters meeting on April 17th. Only 2 abutters were in attendance. One voiced concerns over the lot size and the setbacks and suggested that the applicant adjust their plans. The other abutter in attendance voiced support for the proposal, stating how it will not affect an adjacent property. Next, the proposal went on to meet with the Jamaica Plain Zoning Neighborhood Council, which voted to support the proposal. At this time, our office has not received any further community feedback. We defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we don't have any additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion to defer this to the next hearing where there's a full board in front of us.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Better Barraza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
And that's for Tuesday, July 29th.
Thank you.
So this coming Tuesday, come back.
Yes, sir.
And can I ask, is the concern that it's because it's adding a unit to my yard, or?
I'm gonna let Ms. Better Brazza answer because it's your.
So, you know,
motion.
in the descriptions, it says construct a building in a real lot, including a pool house and a second-story dwelling unit. So to me, it sounds like it's much larger than the conception of an ADU unit. And so I just want a little bit more of an opportunity where my colleagues and I can have a discussion. Because what happens is if there at the subcommittee, there's 3 of us. So you have to have unanimous yes for the project to move forward. So I'm giving in so that it does not get denied, because I might need further kind of discussion with Boston Planning in regards to whether they consider this within the scope of an ADU. I'm giving that opportunity to ensure that the project does not get denied just because I don't have clarity of how they're defining an ADU versus a new building that violates the zoning laws, which says you're not supposed to have 2 buildings in 1 lot. So I think it's about an interpretation of what an ADU is. Does that
So essentially,
explain
Mr. O'Brien.
does that explain my concern?
Yeah,
I
we don't
guess
have
as the person-
BA here to respond to those concerns, so
Right.
let's so we're erring on the side of caution. So we'll see you
Yes.
on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, so next we have case BOA 1686770 with the address of 294 West Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, would they please explain the case to the board?
Hello, my name is Vanessa McCarthy. I'm from Place Design, and I am representing the homeowners. One of the homeowners is on the call as well. Our project is an existing non-conforming structure. It's currently a shed that is set back about 75 feet from the property line, close to the back of the yard. Like I said, it's existing non-conforming. The current structure is about 1.7 feet from the side property line. And it has fallen into disrepair over the years and is no longer usable. And the homeowners would like to tear it down and rebuild on the same footprint. We've made every effort to have minimal impact on the neighborhood and make sure that it matches the design aesthetic of the neighborhood. And we are here because we have 3 violations. I am contesting those violations because after reading through the zoning more thoroughly, the first violation was the side yard setback. And as I mentioned before, it's existing non-conforming, which according to the bylaws, Article 69, Section 31 allows an existing building existing on the effective date of the article and not conforming to the applicable dimensional requirements may nevertheless be altered or enlarged, provided that such nonconformity is not increased and that any enlargement itself conforms to such dimensional requirements. Our property, like I said, our structure is being built on the same footprint, so we are not enlarging it. We are not increasing any nonconformity. So we don't feel that we are violating this bylaw. The second violation was excessive building height. According to, the zoning bylaws state that maximum height of 15 feet. And again, when I looked into the definitions to understand what the demarcations of the building height is measured from, our shed structure actually falls under a separate definition of building height because it's not abutting a street. The building height by definition is the vertical distance from the grade to the mean level of the roof slope. However, our building is not abutting a street. Ours is I'm sorry, our building is not abutting a street, and is measured from a grade line from 20 feet away from the grade at the building line, which actually increases our height by 1.3 feet above where the grade is at the building footprint. By these definitions, our building height is actually 15 feet. So we're not, again, violating any zoning bylaws. The third violation notes that an 8-foot setback is required between structures, and it cites Article 69, Section 30.7. But in that section, there was no mention of this requirement. And I couldn't find that within any of the bylaws, within the entire ordinance. There was a mention of 2 or more dwellings, and a distance between those 2 or more dwellings, but this is not a dwelling. There is no plumbing. It's not habitable. So again, I feel that this one is not appropriate at all to our building and the zoning. I think that concludes the violations that we've had and how we feel about the results.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board?
What's the use of the second story? And you said it's 17 foot 7, correct? In height?
It is it depends on where you're measuring it from. The overall building height, I can pull that up. The use, to get to that, the use is all storage. The first floor is, there's 2 floors. They're very short levels. The first floor is mostly for like outdoor storage. The second floor is for overflow from the house storage. So it's really just, it's made to look really nice, but it's really just a glorified storage shed.
And the existing shed is also was used for storage?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
May I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office will defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information, the community process. ONS had hosted an abutters meeting on April 1st that was lightly attended. Abutters present asked questions regarding the construction time frame as well as the height of the proposed shed. The applicant was able to address those questions. Next proposal went on to meet with the Hyde Park Central River Neighborhood Group, who voted to support the proposal. To this date, our office received 1 letter of support from the HPCR, which we referenced, which said that they were in favor of increasing the appeal of the property. With that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval. It's really an expansion of an existing non-conforming accessory use. I don't see any issues with it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1700082 with the address of 34 Braden Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Hi, how you doing? Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Please
how are
proceed.
you? How's everyone? Good?
Thank
All
you.
right, so our project is pretty much raising one side of the roof from gable to a dormer and just creating more storage space upstairs. Again, we're not touching the footprint, we're not going outside, the footprint of the existing home. Again, it's just a shed dormer we're adding to the one side of the second floor. That's
How much how much square footage does that add?
yeah, it's up to about 400, a little over 400 square feet. I have a thing here to be exact.
Thank you. Questions from
it's-
the board? May I have public testimony?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office will defer to the judgment of this board. Some background information in the community process. ONS had the applicant circulate flyers to abutters within 300 feet. We did not receive any feedback from those abutters. There's also no active civic association in this area, so that concluded the community process. We're unaware of any concerns. With that, we'll defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion? Is
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Next, we have case BOA 1703635 with the address of 9 Cutter Road. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Hi, good evening. I'm Scott Grady. I'm the architect for proposed renovations and addition at 9 Cutter Road. Looking to you, Madam Chairman, and the committee for your consideration. What we're simply doing for John and Erica and their children, he's a Boston firefighter, is to increase the size of their very modest home by adding a second floor. The existing house does not conform to the required setbacks. We would not be increasing the nonconformity by adding the second floor, with one caveat. We are looking to gain a little extra square footage in that addition on the second floor by cantilevering the rear elevation or into the rear yard, which mostly conforms except for, if you look at the site plan, 2 little corners. And just for the integrity and aesthetics of the house, we would like to be able to have those 2 little corners to have the full rectangle for that second floor. And it really is as simple as that, and I'm available for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the ONS community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on May 6th at which no concerns were raised. The West Roxbury Neighborhood Council is in support of this application. With that background, our office defers to the judgment of the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we don't have additional comments.
With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion. Sorry, I second Norm's.
Thank you. Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck, sir.
Thank you very much for your time and consideration. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And next we have case BOA 1699328 with the address of 11 Durland Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, would they please explain?
Madam Chair, members of the board, John Moran, Alpine Advisory Services with the mailing address of 130 Beach Road, Orleans, Mass. Madam Chair and members of the board, this is a building, a single-family home, which was constructed in 1939. As the board is aware, the Boston zoning code was enacted several years later in 1956. The project is cited for front and rear yard insufficiency. The site plan, if we could stay with the site plan, shows that the front yard setback to the covered entryway is 6.3 feet, and the rear setback is 9 feet. The current code requires a front yard setback of 20 and a rear yard setback of 40 feet. Again, this is a pre-existing legal non-conforming setback. The proposal, if we could scroll down to the next site plan, shows a full dormer replacing the existing front and rear partial dormers, plus an addition of a deck, which does not require any zoning relief. It is the front and rear setbacks. The full dormers would create additional living space for the growing family. There would be 3 bedrooms plus an office. For further detail on the plans, if the board wishes, I would ask the architect to review the plans with the board. Bond, are you available?
Well, let me start with, are there questions from the board?
Oh.
Hearing none, I'm going to go to public testimony.
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This petitioner completed the ONS community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on May 14th with 4 abutters in support and no concerns raised. The Brighton Alston Improvement Association is the active civic group in this area, which is in support of the application. With that background, our office defers to the judgment of the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I may add that there was enthusiastic support by the neighbors, plus Councillor Brennan has submitted a letter to the chair in support of the requested relief. Again, there is no enlargement of the existing legal conforming, non-conforming setbacks.
Any other raised hands?
No, Madam Chair, we don't have any additional comments.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
And we will see
Thank
some
you.
of you on Tuesday.
Yes, have a good evening.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good night, folks.